Hi everyone, my name's Susanna and welcome to Rainy Day Crochet. Today in this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to crochet the perforated stitch. You can see a swatch that I made of it here. I created this using a chunky weight yarn, which is what I'll be using for this tutorial. I'll be doing it in this shade today. So this is a chunky weight yarn from Paintbox Yarns, but you can use any weight of yarn that you would like for this tutorial, whatever you might happen to have sitting around. I'll be using a 6mm hook, which is what this chunky weight yarn asks for. So of course use whatever hook is recommended for the yarn that you're using. And then you'll also need a pair of scissors to cut your ends and a darning needle to sew in your loose ends. So let's go ahead and gather our supplies and we'll get started on this tutorial. So the first thing we're going to want to do is to create our chain row. So we'll get started by creating a slip knot, and you can just use whatever method you prefer for doing that. And we'll slide that onto our hook. And so perforated stitch is worked in a multiple of 8 plus 1. So for this tutorial I'm going to be doing 25 chains. But of course do whatever width you would prefer for your project. Just make sure it's that multiple of 8 plus 1. So I'm going to go ahead and let you finish your chain row, and once you are at your desired length we'll meet back up there. Okay, once you have your chain row in place it should look like this, and now we can dive into what we're going to call our foundational row. So the reason we're not calling this row 1 is because this will not be a part of the pattern repeat. So this will make it a little less confusing as we go through this. So our foundational row is going to start in the second chain from our hook. So if we go ahead and look at our chain row here, we have the first chain from our hook is right there. And then the second one is right there. And that's what we're gonna do our first stitch into. We're gonna do a single crochet. So let's go ahead and insert our hook into that second chain. And you're just gonna yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops for your first single crochet. And we are going to single crochet into every single chain to the end of the row. So again, insert your hook, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2 loops. So I'm going to let you continue on this row, just creating single crochets. I'm going to pause the video here and I will meet back up with you at the end of the row. Alright, once you get your foundational row completed, it should look a little bit like this. So it's just a row of single crochets. Now we can get started on row 1. So to start, we're going to chain 3, and then we will flip our work over, and this chain 3 is going to count as our first double crochet. So we're going to skip the first stitch and work into the next one, and we're going to work a double crochet into it. So we'll go ahead and yarn over your hook, insert into that stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So that's your first double crochet, and we're going to do a total of 6. So again, we're 2 double crochet, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so once we have those 6 double crochets in place, we're going to go ahead and chain 2. And now we're going to skip 2 stitches. So skipping these 2, and then working double crochet into that next stitch. And again, we're going to work 6 double crochet. so we should have 6 double crochet, and we're going to chain 2, and again skipping 2 stitches and working into the next one, but this time we're going to do 7 double crochet, and this will take us to the end of the row. So the thing to understand with this row is that all of the middle sections of double crochets are going to be 6, and then the outer sections are going to be 7. So let me show you what I mean once I'm done here. Just trying to get into that last stitch. Okay, so at this starting block of double crochets here, we had a chain 3, and that counts as a double crochet, and then we did 6 more, so that's a total of 7. And then on this outer edge we did 7 as well. Now if you did a chain row that was longer than this, you're going to have more of these middle blocks of double crochets, and all of those middle repeats are going to be 6. So now that we've completed that row, we can move on to row 2. So we're going to go ahead and chain 1 and turn our work, and we're going to single crochet into the first stitch, and we're going to single crochet into the top of all of these double crochets. So including the one I just did, it should be 7 single crochets. And when we get to the chain 2 spaces, we're going to do 2 single crochets into those spaces. And then we'll just continue that way for the rest of the row. So a single crochet in the top of each double crochet, and a 2 single crochets into each chain 2 space. So I will let you go ahead and complete this row, and I will meet up with you when we get to the end here and just show you how we work with that chain 3 space, or that chain 3. Okay, so we're at the end of the row. There's 1 double crochet and the chain 3. So we'll go ahead and single crochet into this last double crochet, and then we will do a single crochet into the top of the chain 3. So just find the top loop here and stick your hook in there and do a single crochet. And that is it for row 2. So it should start to look a little bit like this, and we can move on to row 3. So this is going to be a little bit similar to row 1, but we're going to start to create, for row 3, the openings are going to be staggered. So they're going to be starting at different points. So let's go ahead and chain 3 and turn. And again, we are going to be skipping the first stitch. So we'll skip that one and then work into the next one. And we're going to do 2 double crochet. So like that. And then at this point, we're going to do a chain 2. Skip 2 stitches, and then 6 double crochet. So the main difference from row 1 is that instead of 7 on the outside sections, 7 double crochet on the outside sections, it's going to be 3. And again, that chain 3 counts as one of those double crochets. So all of the middle blocks of double crochets are going to be 6, just like row 1. So once we have 6, we're going to chain 2 and skipping 2 stitches and working into the next one, and do another block of 6. So I will let you finish up. So do 6 double crochet, chain 2, skip 2, and 3 double crochet. Okay, so once your row 3 is finished, it should start looking like this. So you can see that these openings are staggered from each other. And we finished up with 3 double crochet. And so we can move on to row 4. So row 4 is going to be very similar to row 2. So we're just going to chain 1 and turn. Then we'll do a single crochet into the top of each double crochet. So we're going to have 3 right here. And then again, we'll do 2 single crochet into each of these chain 2 spaces. And continuing on, single crochet into the top of each of these double crochet, 2 into the chain 2 spaces, and so on. So I'll let you finish that up to the end of the row, and I'll meet up with you when we get to the chain 3. Okay, so now that we're at the end of the row, we'll go ahead and just finish with a single crochet into the top of the chain 3 from the previous row. And that is it for perforated stitch. So to keep going with this, all you're going to do is repeat rows 1 through 4 until you reach your desired length. And that's all there is. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm so glad you stopped by, and I hope to see you here again. Have a good day.